Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Since we have week 0 in college football this year coming up on August 24th, that means, not counting today since it's Friday, but starting tomorrow, which is July 13th, which, by the way, I hope to see all of you at 244 Livestock Road, East Denali, Georgia for SWA Resurrection. Doors open at 5 o'clock, bell time. 6 o'clock, we're going to have a cage match, a tables match, a street fight, brass knuckles on a pole, all in one night. You can't beat that for $10. Again, that's 244 Livestock Road, East Denali, Georgia. But tomorrow, since it's Saturday, is 42 days away from the start of college football, which means, of course, today we're 43 days away. And over the past week or so, we've already talked coaches on the hot seat. We've already talked Heisman Trophy. We've already talked about teams that are picked to win their conference. Today I want to talk about the preseason All-American team. Now, this is one of the things that I despise. I hate preseason awards because, in my personal opinion, it goes to players' heads a lot of times, and all you're doing is saying they're going to be an All-American based on what you think they're going to do, and everybody could be wrong. So you're nominating them for doing, well, absolutely nothing. But I know people enjoy talking about it, enjoy hearing about it, and of course, every single sports website, sports magazine, sports writer in the world does a preseason All-American team. Most of them have the same players on them, but I'm going to go with the Walter Camp preseason All-American team only because this article is a couple of weeks old, and a lot of them put out their 2024 preseason All-American team back in January, and I tried to find one that was a little bit more current, so that's why I'm going with the Walter Camp preseason All-American team. We're just going to do first team, but you can, of course, find second team and third team for a lot of the riders. But I'm just going to do first team offense and first team defense. On offense, at wide receiver, they have Titora McMillan from Arizona and Emeka Egbuka, Ohio State. Now, honestly, I shouldn't have to tell you who any of these players play for, because if you have to stop and ask yourself, who is that guy? Who's he play for? Who is that kid? Well, then you're not really a college football fan, because players that are nominated for the All-American team are talked about everywhere. So if you haven't heard their name by now, you're not a college football fan, but I'll still tell you who each one of them play for, even though you should know. If you don't, you need to check your college football fandom because you failed. At tight end, we have Colston Loveland from Michigan. Offensive line, they list 4 because they list the tackle and the guards as offensive linemen, and then they list the center separately. So there's not 5 linemen, there's 4 linemen, and then the center is separate. Offensive line, we have Clay Webb, Jacksonville State, Tate Ratledge from Georgia, Tyler Booker, Alabama, and Will Campbell, LSU. And then our center is Cooper Mays, who I think has been at Tennessee since about 2003. Our quarterback is Carson Beck. And the running backs are Ollie Gordon II from Oklahoma State and Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. And our kicker is Alabama's Graham Nicholson. On the defensive side of the ball, our defensive line, we have James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee, Howard Cross III from Notre Dame, Ashton Gelati at Louisville, and Tyleik Williams, Ohio State. Our linebackers, we have Jay Higgins from Iowa, Danny Stutzman, Oklahoma, and maybe the one player that most people won't know about, and that is linebacker Jason Henderson from Old Dominion. Defensive backs, we have Xavier Watts from Notre Dame and Travis Hunter from Colorado, Malachi Starks from Georgia, and Will Johnson from Michigan. And then our punter, we have Alex Mastromano at Florida State. And our kick returner, we have Zachariah Branch from USC. And that is the 2024 Walter Camp preseason All-American team. And like I said, CBS does one, ESPN does one, Fox does one, and Sporting News does one, Athlon does one, Lindy's does one, Phil Steele does one, and more than likely your local newspaper, wherever you live at, they probably do one, two, or one close to it. But most of them are going to have pretty much the same players. You might have a few that'll put, this running back on first team and this running back on second team, but still for the most part it's going to be the same players because the All-American list is always 4- and 5-star players. So it's going to be the same with any publication you look at. I just wanted to go with Walter Camp because it was the most current one. The rest of them came out basically right after the 2023 season ended. As always, any thoughts on this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Fishing licenses are stupid. You can't even drive a fish. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.